And I'm just getting dazed with all this set of numbers from United Capital research team this morning about how the new pricing methodology announced 2 weeks ago by the Nigerian Stock Exchange is beginning to play out, in particular with those Tier 2 banks and, more importantly, with the insurance stocks. Let's bring the research associate at United Capital, one of the licensed and registered investment and securities trading firm on Broad Street, to the conversation. Wale Olusi, thank you very much. Good to see you. Thank you very much. It's been a long time, a very long time. Well, we'll catch up about that later. Yeah, sure. This is quite heavy when it talks about the volume that we've seen in insurance stocks over the last 2 weeks. So let's assess the first 2 trading weeks and keep our eye first on the insurance stocks. And we're going to use a bit of a chart that you brought in here. These volumes are very massive on these penny insurance stocks. Yes,
thank you once again for having me, Bossing. And I think for the insurance stocks, a lot of them have been trading for about 50 kobo for a long time. We actually did about 100 days trend to see what has happened over the last 100 days. And the interesting thing is that most of the volumes we've seen, especially on the ones that were classified as the most affected or impacted, many of them have seen a lot of resurgence in liquidity or volume over the last 10 days. And of course, that's 3 Mondays ago till now. Allmark Insurance, Lasako, Royal Exchange, Cornerstone.
That's it there on the screen. Yeah,
yes,
thank you.
Yes. These are the ones that are most impacted. You will see that, first of all, many of them saw a very sharp depreciation in their prices.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. The 2-week returns there on the far right side of the screen. That's a negative 30% on Hallmark Insurance. Yes. Lasako a negative 28, same as Unique.
Exactly.
Real Exchange, Cornerstone, Afro Insurance, Unity Capital, and Guinea Insurance, all those in double digits.
Yeah. The average is about 13.5 or so % in terms of 2 weeks decline. Yes.
So over the last 10 sessions or 2 weeks, yes, those stocks last average 13%.
Exactly.
Because of the new pricing methodology.
You can call it, say, 1% per day or thereabout. But in terms of volume have increased about 13% as well, with Lasako being the most traded over 100 times.
That's on 1.6.
Of volume
of times, yes, of charge. That's the number 2 there on the screen.
Exactly.
That's about 276,972. I'm trying to calculate it. That's about 27.697 million in terms of volume. This is quite. That's 2 weeks average.
Exactly, it's massive. I think a lot of people have been waiting on the sideline to see whether these prices will move or not. So I think many of them are shedding this capacity that they have to the investing public. And that's why the prices have been declining. If it continues like this, it's likely to touch 10, but I don't think the owners will want to stay back and allow it to touch 10, because I was looking at the numbers this morning. On the average, for those most impacted insurance companies, yes, current market capitalization is about 40 billion. Now, if it goes,
total?
Yes, in total, about 9 or so of them.
Yes, the top 10.
Yes, not the top 10, those that are impacted. The top 10...
by impact.
By impact.
Yes, by impact.
By impact.
Yes.
Now, if it continues to about 10 kobo per unit, market capitalization is going to drop to as low as about 4.7 billion.
Ooh.
So with about £1 billion, I can walk into the Nigerian Stock Exchange, cherry pick on about 5 of them, and go home.
And walk away.
Exactly. So that's how interesting this has been.
Yes, but if we go back to the price, and I'm looking at the first 10 days, if we use that, if we put that table back on the screen, our production team, I'm trying to walk through this a little bit. If you look at the close as at Friday, and the year high and the year low, of course, if you discount when this new pricing, power value pricing thing comes in, look at the year high there and the year low. Do you see anything significant in terms of the numbers here? There's still, some are still just holding losing just about 2 kobo, some about 10, 12.
Yes, I think a number of them are particularly interesting. Law, Union, and Rock. Then if we go to the ones we call others, there are certain insurance companies that are actually not, based on liquidity or volume, the impact has not been that negative on them, even though they have seen more transaction over the last 2 periods.
Okay, so if I'm looking at custodian,
yes,
right.
For example, Law Union only shared about 1.3%. In fact, some of them actually increased in prices. if you go to the one we call
to the next
others,
page. Yes, we're going to take that. That's,
exactly.
that's what you have there, the custodian, the prestige, name insurance, WAPIC, linkage assurance, and of course the big boys,
Exactly.
Mansell and ICO Group.
Yes. Now, from our analysis covering the insurance space.
And those are the ones in blue.
Yeah. We know that the likes of custodian, name insurance, Mansard, Continsure, those are the heavyweights in the sector. They trade regularly. But the likes of Prestige, Link Assure, these ones have actually appreciated in prices over the last 2 weeks, even though their volumes have also increased. I think those are the ones that enjoy the positive impact.
Yes, I know linkage assurance.
How many percent?
Yes, that's about 13.33%.
Yeah.
And it's just about 2.29 upside in terms of between the 2 weeks average volume and the pre-implementation average, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, some of them, the impact has not been negative for a very few of them, like I mentioned, Prestige. Yes. Prestige about 12%.
12%, yeah.
Yes.
And that's name insurance, 2.16%.
And there's name insurance.
WAPIC is 4.92. Lincoln Insurance is 30.3, and ICO is 20.
WAPIC has a different story entirely. WAPIC has surged more than that percent over the course of the last 3 weeks. We know that they got this license to insure some of the Super Eagle or some of the sporting team going on a upcoming tournament. So that has also affected.
Oh, they got the insurance for the sporting guys.
Yes.
Deal.
Exactly. So that has also impacted positively on their numbers.
And that news came to the back door. Well, and it went to the market.
Yes. So some people have actually, capitalized on that, and they've traded it until about 2, 3, 4 trading sessions ago before, we started seeing this, decline. Tola have already spoken as to how the panic, has affected the price. So I think some people started selling again when, they started thinking about taking profit. So that's what we've seen in terms of
I'm looking at the rest of our insurance there. One or two news during the week about whether equity assurance PLC is now Sunu Assurance, because some new investors or whether private equity folks are in there. You know anything about that?
Well, the only thing we noticed is that we couldn't get trading volume on equity assure. Probably, I don't know, maybe the old trading activities on it, but most of the data we've been seeing from equity is not, available. Maybe one other point I missed out is that some actually have not traded at all, despite this.
Yes, and that's what I'm looking at.
Exactly, Starco,
yes,
and Co.
Gold Insurance, and you've seen this very 4-6 MFB. This looking like just that's the universal insurance at the bottom there.
They have remained at 50 kobo, despite the new implementation of